Welcome to Tea and Talk. I'm your host, Olivia Boughton. Today, I'm joined by Peg Harvey. Peg, thank you so much for being here today.
You're very welcome. I'm pleased to be here as well.
I'm so glad. So last month, your husband was on.
He was.
And as I promised our viewers, here you are.
Here I am.
I'm excited to talk with you and maybe see if some of his stories were accurate or not. We'll get into that a little bit, but first we'll talk about the tea.
Okay.
So this set that we're using today has been on the show one other time, the very first episode that I did, and this set belonged to my grandmother, Jean Gowett, and I just love this set. I remember it in her home, and as I was telling you off camera, my Aunt Monica helped me to find some plates that match. So on holidays, we get to take this set out and use it, and I think of my grandparents. So what I'm serving today is a black tea, and it's called Margaret's Hope.
Really?
It is. I said, so you go by Peg, but of course your name is Margaret.
Margaret.
And I thought, I know what tea I shall serve when Peg is on the show. So Margaret's Hope is actually, it's the name of an estate in India that grows tea.
Really?
And it's in the Darjeeling region. So it's a Darjeeling tea. Darjeeling teas come from specific region of India. So this estate was named for the estate manager's daughter. This is back in, I think, the 1800s. And her name was Margaret. And she visited the estate from England, and she just loved the place so much. And unfortunately, she died of an illness on her way back to England. Wow. So she never returned to the estate as she had hoped to do. So her father renamed the estate Margaret's Hope in honor of her dream to be back in this beautiful place. So I don't know what you'll think of this tea, but I'm going to pour you some and we'll take a little taste. And I do have some sugar and a little bit of cream if you want either of those.
Probably not.
Okay, just take it as is. All right. There you go.
Thank you.
All right, I'll pour a little for myself. It's got a very kind of golden color to it. It's very pretty. I'm going to take a little bit of sugar myself, just a cube here. These cute little cubes.
Yes. So, does Darjeeling mean black?
No, I actually don't know what it means, but it's a region. So kind of like we have states or counties. There's regions in India, and I think because
this is good. It's good.
Because of the way the tea grows there, it ends up being a certain kind of taste to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it reminds me of like in France, there's all these wine regions, and depending on where the grapes are grown, they have a certain kind of flavor profile.
They do. Yes, they do.
And I think it was in 2004 maybe that it became, kind of a rule that only teas that come from these particular regions can be called Darjeeling. So, but it is a black tea. Same,
but it's good.
Yeah,
really
same
good.
Same plant as any other black tea.
Good. Good.
Yummy. So, let's hear about you. I know a little bit about you from Bill's story about how you met, but tell me how, where you grew up, what your childhood was like.
Well, I grew up in Castleton, but not in the village.
Okay.
When you go toward Fairhaven, you come to the corners, you come to Hydeville, which is a piece of Castleton.
Yes.
And then you come to Blissville.
Oh, okay.
So if you come to the road that goes to West Castleton, where the big hotel is, opposite that road is Blissville Road.
Okay.
And my grandmother had a farm there. She was a widow with horses and cows she had. And we lived in a little house below her, a few houses down from her. And so when I was 3.5 or so, I decided to take a walk. And I started down the hill to go toward Fairhaven.
Oh no.
And I'm sure no one knew where I was, but a farmer with a horse and wagon picked me up. Now think how that might be these days.
Oh my goodness, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So he brought me home. So obviously he knew where I lived.
He knew who you belonged to.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And
was your mother very upset?
I don't remember. I only remember going and probably enjoying, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway. So we were there for another year or so. And then my father contracted TB.
Oh.
As many people in that time did.
Yeah.
And so he went to the sanatorium in Pittsford for more than a year.
Wow.
And in the meantime, my first brother had been born. My second brother was born when my father was at the sanatorium.
Wow.
And we were then living with my mother's mother.
Okay.
And
how old were you during that time?
well, I was 4.5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. So still before school.
Yes.
Before school
yes.
age.
So after my father came home, we moved to Castleton.
The town proper.
The town proper. And he too had worked with the WPA, like Bill said his father had. Yeah. I think probably most everybody did because there weren't any, there weren't any jobs.
Right, right.
And but after a while, he went to work for Central Vermont Public Service. Because when he had gone to school, he didn't become an electrical engineer, but he did something with electricity.
Okay.
And my mother had studied to be a teacher and was for a few years, not too many. Anyway, we went to Castleton in the big, beautiful house that was called the Whispering Pines. And to the left were many humongous pines. And that's where the Catholic Church is now, on the corner of Main and North Street, North Road.
Yeah. Wow.
So my mother had waitressed there. It was a tea house. You would have loved it.
A tea house?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
She was a waitress there.
Wow.
And the people who owned it were a brother and a sister.
Okay.
From the Sherman family, which was very up and coming in Castleton. And anyhow, somehow we got to rent it.
Wow.
The downstairs. Because Kathleen and Dick had moved to Wisconsin but came back home every summer.
Okay.
So, and they lived upstairs,
of
course. The house was full of antiques. We could use them all. They didn't care.
Wow.
In fact, I was in the bedroom that had a 3/4 bed.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so when, I think we were there like 3 years, then they bought a house. And my father bought that bed for $5.
Oh my
gosh. But think about it, that was, 82 years ago or whatever.
Right, that was a lot of money.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, at that time.
So we still have that bed. We don't use it now, but we have it. And,
that's so sweet.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
But we used everything that they had.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we must have had much anyway to begin with.
Yeah.
But while we were there, not long after we moved there, I decided to take another walk.
Boy, boy, you were just into...
I was probably not the very best.
You were into exploring. You were
I
an
was,
explorer.
and I took both brothers with me. The brother Billy was 2 years younger than I, and Bobby was 3 years younger than I, and he was in the stroller.
Oh my goodness.
And I heard Bill talk to you about the beautiful iron fence all around the property.
Yes.
And obviously I opened the gate and off we went up to South Street, which is opposite North Road, of course.
Yeah.
And there I went.
Oh
now
my
I don't
gosh.
know why we came back. I have no idea. Except we went.
Wow.
And we went quite a ways. And my mother was not happy. Anyway, so I had done that twice.
An adventurer.
I'll say.
From a young age.
A very young age. So we were there until I was 8.
Okay.
And then we went to Seminary Street, and my grandmother and my parents bought that house.
Okay.
Because my grandfather
So that's still
had
in the
died.
Same area.
Yes,
right?
it's
kind
the
of
main street to the college.
To the college now.
And I guess it still is.
Yeah.
And that house was called the Sanford House because a Dr. Sanford had lived there.
Ah.
And in our barn, where he brought in the horses, at the end of the barn, you could see where they chewed a lot of the wood. So this, of course, made a wonderful story.
Oh, yes, of course.
But that really happened. And
wow.
So I lived there till I left to get married.
Yeah.
Which I was only 19, so I wasn't there too terribly long.
And so when Bill was here, he said that you two met when you were living in the house where the church now is. So you were young when you two first met.
I was in the 3rd grade.
Okay, all right.
He was in the 4th or 5th or whatever.
Okay, wow.
Yes.
Wow. And married at 19. I mean, he mentioned that, you know, your first child was born when he was still...
I was 20 by a few
at
days.
Norwich.
Yes, he was a junior.
Yeah. I mean, young. So then you've been married for how many years?
Well, come April 4, it will be 67.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
One would have never guessed that.
That's amazing.
Would get there.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, that's an incredible milestone that many people cannot say that they've reached. You know?
I don't think I know anyone.
Yeah.
Bill's one set of his grandparents did make 65.
Wow.
And we didn't know that until I was cleaning out their house. His mother never told any of us that it was their 65th. And how sad is that?
That is sad. That is sad.
So I found cards and whatever and said, but we didn't know. No.
So it's funny the things that people, you know, keep to themselves and choose not to talk about, you know.
Bill's mother was very close-lipped or whatever.
Yeah, just a private person.
But I thought that was sad because most of their family lived down here. They were in Enosburg Falls, so I mean, it was a whole long ways there.
Right. Right. Wow.
Anyway.
So married at 19. Okay.
And we had an apartment in Castleton.
Okay.
So I was on my own.
Yeah, gosh. What was that like? I mean, as a young woman, married on your own.
We paid $35 a month, and we had the upstairs and a porch and a garage.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
No, I can't.
No, but
I can't.
I know. It's just crazy when you think about today. it was good. And it was an old house, of course. And the people downstairs, they had a big old wood furnace. I don't know if they use, I don't think they use coal. Anyway, and they had 2 big chimney fires. Because if you use green wood, you're probably going to have a chimney fire. And indeed they did.
Wow.
So the big pipe was upstairs through our living room, through the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
And it was red.
Oh my gosh.
And
were you there alone at the time that happened?
I don't know, but next door was the American Legion.
Okay.
And those fellows came flying out of that Legion twice.
Goodness. Thank
and
goodness.
The third time we were up visiting his grandparents. We weren't even home.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway.
Boy, these people didn't learn their lesson.
No. Well, they didn't. I bet that green wood was much cheaper.
I was going to say, it was cheaper, and they didn't have the time to let it dry out.
They didn't have much money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it really affected them less than we.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
So that must have been quite the adventure.
Yes.
Each time it happened.
I learned a lot in a hurry. Yes.
And thank goodness for the American Legion next door.
Oh, they were good. Those guys were always good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So how long did you live in that apartment in Castleton?
Let me see. Let's see. And Bill graduated in the spring of '60, and he said we brought young Bill, to graduation.
Yeah.
I'm sure his mother could have killed me because, I mean.
Yeah, right?
It was
just a baby.
It was probably. So then she brought him home, so we stayed for the weekend.
Yep.
So anyway, and then he, a few months later, went into the Army, and in January, his father brought the big German Shepherd that we had, and Billy, who was 9, 10 months old by then, and I, to Virginia. And we lived in McCreary Motel. And the windows had spaces like this.
Oh my goodness.
And that winter, they had more snow than they had had in 25 years.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
And I mean, nobody there had anything ready or didn't even have it. So I had his stroller, and I would still take him out. And the people thought I was crazy. Why are you out?
And you're like, I'm from Vermont. No big deal.
For some reason, they thought they must have been the people who lived in the motel. I'm really not sure anymore. They thought I was German. Now, why, I don't know.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Huh. And there I was with my child out in the snow, and the rest of the world in Virginia was in the house. Yeah. But anyway.
That's funny.
It was, Bill had his first birthday there. And then we were off to Georgia.
Yes, it was so interesting talking to your husband, because I had no idea how much traveling you did even before, and like I know in retirement.
Even before we traveled.
Right, even before you traveled. It's amazing, you know, because when I think about both of you, I think about how much of a staple you both are in the local community and how involved you've been, you know, and it just seems like you must have always been here, you know, but to have those different experiences, I'm sure was amazing, and probably
and a little scary, because maybe for me, I don't think it was for him.
Yeah.
But because I had never been anywhere.
Right. It was kind of like Right, literally seeing the world, the country for the first time outside of Castleton, Vermont. You know, that's amazing. I'm sure it took a lot of bravery to.
Well, I guess so, but
to do that.
You just do what you have to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to. I mean, we could go on and on about those stories, but I want to hear a little bit about your involvement locally with, you know, the Friends of the Town Hall and historical stuff and church, and just kind of how you got into more of that.
Well, my parents were very into the town of Castleton and did lots of, so I grew up being community minded and doing that kind of thing.
Got it.
So the first thing I did, and Bill worked away a lot, so I did my own thing.
Yeah.
I was on the town recreation committee for years, and I was thinking about that yesterday. One old gent, Mr. Costello, who lives up one from lived up from Robert by one, was a select person, and we would go to the meetings, and he would go sound asleep. But we found out later his wife had dementia, and she would either go outside or do whatever. Yeah. So he would be up all night.
Oh my goodness.
You know, so it's easy to say, well, why is he doing that or something?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's a good life lesson right there, right? You never know what's going on in somebody's private life.
No.
Yeah.
No. So I did that. We were a committee of 5, and Pete Muscatello was one, and we were 5. Yeah. And we did a lot of things. We didn't have much money to work with. Yeah. And that was when the Gowette thing with the marble and everything, nobody had any money much. Yeah. And anyway, but I then did, sometimes at the same time, the school PTA and this. But most things that I did for 11 years. Now, why, I don't know.
That's funny.
I thought about that once.
Wow.
So then we worked together and formed the private kindergarten. No. Yes, we did. We were 30 families, established the private kindergarten. Wow. Which went for 10 years before the town voted a public kindergarten. Wow. But we established the Cub Scouts, and many of us, not me, but many. Later, the Boy Scouts we worked on. The one that was the most gratifying, maybe, was Special Olympics. And we did that for 11 years as well.
What was your favorite part about that?
Well, I don't know if it was favorite, but Bill coached. I did not coach. I did paperwork pretty much. Organizing, that seemed to be my thing. Yeah. We went to the summer games at UVM, and somebody said to me, "You'll have to get in the shower with the old ladies because they're frightened of getting burned." I said, "Okay."
Okay.
So came time for their showers, and yes, I did. Now, I tried not to have all of me be showered, but pretty much we all were. They were petrified of being burned. Wow. Now, you would wonder why, but must be somewhere along the line something happened to one of them. But I survived, and but that came as a shocker when I was told that. But anyway, that Special Olympics was a good thing.
I will say that just knowing you, I think I would say you're a very good sport.
Oh, maybe. Thank you.
And I mean that in the best way. You know, you take things as they come at you, and you're very willing to do what's asked and what's necessary, and sort of with a practical mind, and without putting too much, unnecessary emotional stuff into it. You know.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I do mean that as a compliment, you know.
I know you do.
Because I think sometimes, you know, if another person were asked to do that, there might have been a litany of questions and, you know. Right. But you maybe were like, well, why do I have to do this? I don't understand. But it needs to be done, and, you know.
We did it.
And you're going to do it. And I think that that's admirable because, you know, sometimes we don't have time to investigate the reasons behind things when something needs to get done. And, you know, we need people like that who are willing to step up and do things that need to be done for the benefit of other people, whether that's in an individual capacity or in a social capacity. So.
The interesting part about Special Olympics, the parents of the athletes somehow felt that we, Bill and I and others, who did not have a special needs child, owed them that. We saw that with many of them, not all. Yeah. Some of them were not that way at all. Yeah. But others felt that we owed them. Yeah. And I always found that a little unsettling, but anyway, that's the way it was.
Yeah, it's interesting how, you know, the experiences that people have had and how that impacts the way that we all interact with others in our experiences. You know, that sometimes those formative things that happen can sort of just color the way that we see the rest of the world or people. So we're getting low on time. I told you before we started it would be quick. And I know you've done so many wonderful things for the West Rutland community and obviously the church community, which is how I really know you.
Yes.
But I want to hear from you what you love about living in this area of the state, about being a West Rutland resident, about living in Rutland County. What do you love about it here?
Well, this area is a good area to bring up children. And we lived in another house before the place we're in. There almost was no traffic, so everybody played in the street. Not so on Pleasant Street, but no. But it probably must be a whole lot different than it was before we came there because of all the upset with the marble people and the strike and all those things that they had to go through. But I went to high school in West Rutland, so I had an advantage, if you will. And somehow the people in West Rutland thought I was Dick Pecor's sister. Now, and people funny? That I didn't even know would say that. So we always played along. And
kind of gave you an in.
Yeah. Anyway, I liked being at West Rutland High School, and we have certainly enjoyed being at West Rutland in West Rutland, and this area is home. So that's pretty much why. Well,
I just think it's admirable what both you and Bill have done to serve the community and, you know, to be good citizens. And,
well, thank you.
You know, to participate in all kinds of activities that, you know, no one is forcing you to do. You just do that because, you know, and it makes sense to hear that your parents were involved in civic engagement. Yeah, and I think that you know, it's nice that you carry that on, and I know that, you know, your children have done likewise.
Yes, that's true.
And that's you know what we all need is you know to give back a little bit more. Give back a little bit more. So, well, thank you for being on, Peg.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
It's been a pleasure, really. And thanks to all of you out there for watching. We'll see you next time on Tea and Talk.